Alright, welcome back to another Deathless guide. Today we're going to be doing the mission Quarantine Zone. And I'm going to be explaining all of my strategies for doing this mission completely deathless, without using any glitches to my advantage, and killing every enemy in the level. Now keep in mind this is just a guide, so if I do die like once or twice, it's no big deal. If I do die, I'll explain like what I did wrong, of course, but like the purpose of this is just to explain my strategies, not necessarily to do this level deathless. Because I already did the entire game deathless. So yeah. Alright, the first thing I'm going to do is get in my ghost. Then pre-aim this door. I'm going to start shooting at it so that the first couple shots hit as soon as this door opens. Then you can just kill that enforcer like so, kill the sentinels. Alright, as soon as everything's dead, hop out of your ghost. I want to drive this. Make sure you're in the driver's seat and not the side seat. Okay, but instead of actually taking this forward, I'm going to go right here. You can do this on either side, but I just want to tip this over so that all my allies fall out and they can't come with me. And I also want to take that guy out so he doesn't come with me. And the reason for this is, in this next room, there's going to be sentinels, enforcers, and flood. They're all going to be fighting each other. However, usually the enforcers and sentinels die really quickly. But they'll still be able to kill a couple flood with me, or before they die, right? So, basically, I'm just going to let the enforcers fight the flood until they all die, and then I'm going to come back for my allies. So I'm just kind of saving them back here. Alright, now there's either going to be, or as soon as I open this door, there's going to be two sentinels on either the right or left. And I want to kill these two, but don't kill any others. There's one. There's two. Alright, now this very next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to boost right at this rocket launcher.
Keep moving, I'm on my way.
Drop your precision weapon. Okay. Now you can camouflage before you leave. Make sure not to drive underneath any enforcers or else you'll get picked up and die. Okay, so I'm coming back here. I'm going to wait for my camo to get back. I want to kill this wraith back there. You can see him. Okay, so camo. It either takes 2 or 3 rockets. It's kind of random on that part. Oh, it only took 1, right? Or maybe that was 2. I don't know. But anyways, he died. There's also a scorpion on the far right. However, I do not want to kill that guy. I'm going to let my enforcer kill him. I'm just going to chill here in the back. This is the safest area in the entire room, because enemies can only come at me from one direction, whereas literally anywhere else in the room they can come at me from all directions. So I'm just going to let the enforcers and sentinels fight the flood until they all die. Oh, and the reason that I don't want to kill the scorpion is because if I blow it up, then I'll usually blow up the vehicle as well as the scorpion itself, or as well as the enemy inside of it. But if the enforcer, if I let the enforcer like use his missiles to shoot the scorpion, usually the scorpion itself will stay intact, but the driver will die. Okay, and then I'll have a free scorpion. Like 99% of the time that works, where the enforcer kills the driver but doesn't destroy the scorpion. But I'll explain like what happens if for some reason the scorpion as well as the driver get blown up. It's very rare, but it does happen. And I do have backup strats for it. So yeah, just letting the machines kill the flood. Purposefully not killing them. And as soon as all these guys die, I'll go back for my Covenant allies. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention. Whenever you're driving the Ghost, always have this sword equipped instead of your rocket launcher. So always have your sword equipped, because that way if you're boarded by a flood, you can just get an easy kill. You can like exit the ghost and get an easy kill. Because like when flood board you, they don't actually take over your vehicle. They just jump on your vehicle and keep hitting you until you die. So they don't actually kick you out. They just keep hitting you. Kind of like drones. Yeah, if you get boarded, just before you even get hit, just jump out of your ghost and get an easy kill with the sword. Nice. Okay, so basically, there's just going to be a ton of ghosts in Flood. I don't actually remember exactly how many, because I usually just kill them until they stop spawning. That's all you have to do, just kill the Flood ghosts until they stop spawning. Now, every once in a while, the machines will win this fight against the Flood ghosts. It's very, very rare, but it does happen. And if that happens, I don't even need to go back for my allies, you know. I can just leave them there. I have no way of knowing if there's any more flood ghosts. Ow. Yeah, there's some, So yeah, you kind of just stay back here because you can actually lure the flood into this room, just like so. I'm going to do the same thing with this guy. Oh wow, that really knocked me over for some reason. Okay. Yeah, you can kill them pretty easily. They're stupid, so they just do that. For some reason, it does take like a ton of firepower from your ghost to kill another ghost. Alright, so this enforcer is still alive, so I'm not going to kill him. For some reason, one of my allies is here. I don't know why this guy's here, but he is. I'm going to take his ghost, though, because it's a fresh one. I don't know why that guy came up here, but he did, so. Whatever. Yeah, those flood are gonna kill him. There's like 3 flood ghosts on him. So I think that enforcer died as well. Pretty sure those ghosts killed that enforcer, so I'm just gonna go back for my allies. One rule of thumb for pretty much all of Halo 2 on Legendary: don't do anything yourself if your allies can do it for you. Unless it's Sniper Jackals, that's the only exception, but... because with Sniper Jackals, you have to, like, count yourself how many you kill to make sure they're all dead. I really want this guy with the beam rifle on here. Come on. Come on. Get on. I hate this guy. See what happens if I get in the side seat. This is really annoying when this guy does this. Like, I hate this so much. Come on.
Show us the path, Arbiter.
This won't usually happen, by the way. This is, like, really annoying. Okay, whatever. I'll just deal. I just won't have him. Whatever. Having him would be nice, but whatever. Okay, so I'm gonna take the Spectre. Don't go all the way to the door. I want to just kind of set it right here, and I'm gonna go back for my Ghost. And the reason that I don't go all the way through the door is because I'm not actually going to be the one driving my Spectre. I want my allies to do that because I want to stay in the Ghost. Okay, so I'm going to get on the side seat so one of them drives. One of them gets in the turret. Okay. Now, as soon as I open this door, they should go forward in front of me. Just like that. Okay, so my Spectre should be sufficient to kill pretty much everything alive still. And one way you can tell if more Flood Ghosts are spawning, there's like a door all the way back there. If that door is opening, then that means more Ghost Flood are spawning. Okay. But since that door isn't opening, it means one of two things. One, there's Ghost Flood that are like down here, just kind of chilling down here, which it doesn't seem like there are. See how the Scorpion is still intact, but there's no driver in it? That's like what I was talking about, where the Enforcer will just take care of the driver for you with its missiles, but not destroy the Scorpion itself. Like 99% of the time. Okay, so there's actually still one more enemy in this room. There's a Warthog Flood that's going to come out of that door. But he won't come out of that door until you reach the bottom of this ramp and move right a little bit. You can see that door open. That means a Warthog Flood comes out of it. And I'm just going to let him deal with it. I'm going to go all the way back here. If for some reason my Spectre doesn't kill it, I'm just going to equip my rocket launcher, which will definitely kill it. Okay, so I'm just having my sword out because it takes up less of my screen. I hate when rockets miss. Thought that guy was about to drive over the edge. Oh yeah, funny thing, if you have campaign scoring on, you still lose scoring when you destroy a Warthog, even if it's an enemy Warthog. It's like, you can see I have lost 400 points right there, which is really weird, but... Alright, the last thing I'm going to do in this room is just make sure I have max grenades for each frag and plasma, which I do now. Okay. Now I'm going to park my Ghost next to this Scorpion. I will have to come back for that Ghost in a second, and I'll explain why, but... So, if for some reason this Scorpion gets blown up, you just have to deal with this next room with a Ghost, which is really not that bad. You just... Yeah, it's really not that bad, but... It's just some Enforcers, like 4 Enforcers and, some Flood and some Sentinels. Okay, so this door is opening. As soon as I see this door open, I want to back up immediately because there's actually going to be a Pelican with a Scorpion attached to it flying by. And if that sees me and hits me, it's a one-hit kill, so... You'll see a Pelican flying in the air right after that... yeah. The door closed, so you won't be able to see it, but... There's a Pelican with a Scorpion attached to it that comes on. It moves from the right to the left. And, yeah, right after the Enforcer comes. Okay, so in this room there's going to be 4 Enforcers. This one right here, that's always, he's there as soon as you open this door. Then the next 3 are going to spawn out of those doors. You can see one coming out of there. I'm also going to have to deal with the sentinels and flood that are right here. Okay, so I'm just moving over here to the left because there's not this big wall of glass. And I can actually shoot this guy. Okay, so that was one. There's going to be two more. There's one. So every once in a while, you'll notice that the 3 enforcers that come out of those 3 doors, they get, like, stuck in there for some reason. If they get stuck in there, you can kind of just shoot into the room and the blast radius from the scorpion rounds will eventually kill them. One more thing about the 3 that spawn out of these doors. This doesn't happen very often, but it does happen, is that for some reason you'll only get like 1 or 2 of them and not all 3. If that does happen, what happens is that it just doesn't spawn until later for some reason. You'll still get all or you'll still get 3 total enforcers. However, the last like 1 or 2 won't spawn until you're in the next area, and then it'll like come over this wall and go behind you. So you have to keep that in mind if that does happen. Obviously, it didn't happen right now, but that is a thing. Okay, so I'm gonna get out of my scorpion because remember how I said I needed a ghost? So there, it's kind of hard to see, but there's like the flat surface right there, and then there's that part where it goes down a hill to the right. Right where it starts becoming a hill, or right when it turns to flat to a slope, there's a trigger right there that spawns in flood in front of me and behind me. So if I'm in the scorpion, I actually cannot move fast enough to avoid the enemies that spawn in behind me. But if I'm in a ghost, I can. So I'm gonna get my ghost, bring it all the way back here. I'm gonna hit that trigger, then drive back to my scorpion and get in the scorpion. So I just need the ghost to hit a trigger. And sometimes you'll find a ghost right here because this is like where all the flood and ghosts spawn. Sometimes they like flip it and stuff, but this ghost that I got won't always be here, but sometimes it is. Okay. So yeah, I'm just gonna hit this trigger right here. I'm gonna turn around. Just boost all the way back up the hill. So as you can see, they spawn in behind me. If I was in a scorpion, that would not be fast enough, and they would actually board my scorpion and start hitting me. Which I do not want, so. Oh, by the way, I'm live streaming this, so if I am talking to people, it's just my chat. Hey, Dragman, how's it going? Thanks for stopping by the stream. Okay, so yeah, just clear out this courtyard. Nothing to it. Now we can advance into the next section. So yeah, if those 3 enforcers were not, for some reason they didn't spawn, when you get into this area, they'll actually spawn behind you over this wall. Okay, so remember how, like, I said there's like a very, very small chance that this scorpion gets destroyed? It's very small, but it's still a chance. What you're going to do is basically commandeer that, you're going to commandeer that wraith. Assuming these guys don't blow it up, which it seems like they might. Yeah, so they blew it up. So if for some reason you're not able to get this scorpion or that wraith, there's a much higher chance of that wraith getting blown up than this scorpion, but if for some reason you can get either of them, you just kind of have to deal with this with a ghost. You can just shoot at these other 2 wraiths with a ghost from all the way back here. It takes a long, long time, but it's possible, so. Anyways, I'm just going to shoot at this with a scorpion. You can get hit once, but do not get hit twice. Okay, so Dragman, this is like killing all enemies and no glitches. So I actually can't skip anything for this. Okay, so you can survive one Wraith shot, but you can't survive two. I think getting hit once by a Wraith shot while you're in a Scorpion takes you down to like a third health or something. I actually don't remember exactly how much, but it's about that. So Flood cannot regenerate health, so eventually these guys will die just by shooting at them. Okay, so there's one. Okay, so I got hit once. It took me down to like just under a half, but as you see, I'm just fine. Yeah, Deathless, killing all enemies, no glitches. I actually already completed the challenge for the entire game, but right now I'm just kind of making guides for my individual levels. I completed the entire game like January 18th. Alright. Lasso, I've actually never done Lasso. Not because it's like that hard, just because I've always been more interested in Deathless. Alright, so as soon as those Wraiths are dead, you can come onto this bridge. I'm going to inch my way forward until I hit a trigger, then immediately go backwards. Okay, so I didn't hit it. The reason you want to go backwards is because there's a rocket flood that spawns up top. And you don't want it to like track onto you or something stupid like that. I mean, if you try to do Lasso without the save and quick glitch, then yeah, but... like 99% of the people that do Lasso use the save and quick glitch. Okay, so as soon as you kill those like flood and ghosts that spawn, I'm gonna move over here to the right. I'm just gonna kind of identify where this rocket flood is. You can see him right there. So I know where he's at. I'm gonna get back on my Scorpion and kill him. Easy. Alright, so I see another flood right there. He didn't die, what? Don't know why that took so many hits. This is annoying. Oh, I just ran over that guy. I thought he was gonna board me and then I have to, like, take my sword out. Okay. Anyways, so as soon as I cross this bridge, there'll be some enemies that spawn in there. A lot of those guys kind of just fall back down. And like fall to their deaths, but... So along with the enemies that spawn in there, there's going to be an Enforcer. And also some Flood Ghosts. So these ghosts, they spawn out of that tunnel. And these ghosts actually spawn infinitely. You will never kill all of the Flood Ghosts here. And the way I know that these are infinite spawns is because I literally stayed here for half an hour one day just killing ghosts after ghosts after ghost, and they never stopped spawning. So for this challenge, since it's killing all enemies, you actually cannot kill infinite spawns, so you can... So these don't really count for this challenge. Obviously, you have to kill, like, whatever spawns in, but the way you stop these enemies from continuing to spawn is you just go kind of down to that tunnel. Alright, now that I'm further up and I got that checkpoint, there's going to be another Enforcer and some more Sentinels that spawn in. I'm going to drive off the edge with my Scorpion. Right there. Because you can either do that, or you can hit the checkpoint and then kind of move backwards. However, I always found like moving backwards to be way too slow. The Enforcer and the Ghosts just kind of get you. It's not fast enough of a retreat, so going over that edge is a much better option. Okay. Yeah, I figured out a lot of stuff when, like, doing this challenge. Okay, so I need to kill these Sentinels because they do not spawn infinitely. Just the Ghosts. Make sure you're not, like, too close to them or else you can lose your shields. Now I'm talking like the Sentinels. Make sure you're not too close to them when you blow them up or else you can lose your shields. Okay. So now that I'm in this tunnel, no more Ghosts will spawn. Are you talking about the Regret fight itself? Like the Honor Guards in the Regret fight? Alright, so I'm going to turn around here because there's actually an enemy Scorpion here to the right. And if I'm angled this way, then a lot more of me, or a lot less of me is exposed when I peek out and shoot the Scorpion. No, the Honor Guards are not infinite. There's just a there's just a ton of them. The way the Honor Guards work in that fight is, they will stop spawning eventually. However, whenever Regret teleports, so like after you board him, or any other time he teleports, more Honor Guards will start spawning. So no, they're not infinite spawns, there's just a lot of them. However, the Grunts in that fight are infinite though. They will never stop. Alright, so the Scorpion is dead. There's also a Wraith over there that you need to kill, or that usually the Enforcer takes care of, but... Okay, so I'm just going to stay back here, kill all the Enforcers, just kill everything that spawns. Sentinels, Enforcers. Okay. To be honest, I've always thought this level is harder than Gravemind. I feel like Gravemind's like the third most difficult. This is the second, and Regret's the first. A lot of people feel like Gravemind's the hardest. I don't know. I've always felt like this is the hardest, or the second. Like I've always felt like this and Regret are both harder than it. But all right, so sometimes if you have allies alive right here on your Scorpion, I don't right now, so I can't really show this, but if you do have allies alive, I don't know why, but they will just stay on your Scorpion and not come with you. It's really annoying. So you kind of just have to leave them here. Oh yeah, I bet. So I'm gonna juggle this Sentinel Beam with me, just for extra ammo. If you really want to, you can like go through and pick up all the extra Sentinels in here, in that room, so they don't despawn, but it's not really necessary. Because there's going to be a ton of Sentinel Beams from Sentinels you kill in this room. Okay, so I don't really need a sword because I'm just going to stay up here. Same with the rockets. Kill all the Sentinels, kill this Enforcer. Just whatever you do, don't jump down. At least for now. So this room actually has like a lot of Sentinel spawns. There's also going to be some Flood, but not that many. So I want to kill this Enforcer. I'm going to blow up the shield generators if I can. They're just right there on the front of him. Shot off the right one. Oh yeah, this is on Legendary, yep. Yep, Legendary right there. Alright, now he can't generate his shields back. As soon as I shoot this bottom right, or yeah, his right arm off, he should die. Yep. Okay, so I'm out of battle rifle ammo. However, I see a sentinel beam right there, so I'm gonna go down for it. I remember not knowing this for the longest time, but you can actually jump all the way back up here just using that little ramp right there. Okay, so anytime you need ammo, you can just jump down, grab a sentinel beam, then come right back up here. This is by far the safest area in this entire room because enemies can't come up here. They can shoot at you from down there, but they can't actually come up here themselves. Okay. So right now I'm kind of just waiting for enemies to peek. Oh, that was horrible aim. Yeah. So Sentinel Beam is like really, really strong, but it burns through ammo faster than any gun. Especially the gold Sentinel Beam, which is stronger than the regular Sentinel Beam. It burns through ammo just so fast. So yeah, I kind of had to deal with these Sentinels. They're kind of guarding this area because... Or else I would go down for like a new Sentinel Beam, but I couldn't because they were there. So yeah, there's just a ton of spawns in this room. It's really annoying. I actually made a mistake. I shouldn't have gone down without my sword. Or at least I shouldn't have gone that far down without my sword. Wait, what? I just walked right over it. I love how he tracked me even though I was camoed right there. And as you can see, Sentinels like to hide behind that beam for some reason, or that pillar for some reason. So for the most part, I'm just letting them fight each other, but if I get an easy opportunity to kill one where they're not next to other enemies, I'm just going to take it. Okay, so I think that's all the enemies in this room. Sometimes you'll have Flood, like, hide underneath. As long as you don't see anything on your radar move towards you, after you shoot, you should be good. So this is just a guide, Dragman, so... If I die on this guide, I actually don't really care that much, but... If it was a run, yes, I would restart the entire game, yeah. However, I already completed this entire game, so... About 2 months ago, I did the entire game on Legendary with 0 deaths, 0 glitches, and killing every enemy in the game, so... And right now I'm just going through and explaining my strategies. So it's not so much that I do this Deathless, it's just that I explain how I did it Deathless, you know. Okay, so I'm just going to pick up a few of these Sentinel Beams that I see lying around. So they don't despawn, because the ammo can actually be useful later. Okay, so I have my rocket launcher, my sentinel beam, and my sword. I'm just going to juggle all this with me. It's really not that bad, honestly. Okay, so I don't need my rocket launcher. Actually, I made a mistake right there. I should have grabbed that carbine and juggled it with me too, but... Okay, so once you enter into this area, there's actually going to be a rocket flood, as well as some other flood up to your right. And you should be able to see a rocket flying through the air here in a second. Maybe. I think he just died, that rocket flood. Ah, no, he didn't. He didn't. Okay, so that guy was close enough to me that I saw a free kill right there. And it's a rocket flood, so I kind of have to take that opportunity. There's several ways of dealing with that rocket flood. One, you can just let the sentinels in this area deal with them, because the sentinels in this area actually spawn infinitely. So you'll have infinite spawns just come from the ceiling. However, there's only 2 sentinels that spawn at a time, so there's going to be like 2 sentinels that fall down from the ceiling. You kill them, then 2 more come, and just forever until you clear this area out completely. Once you kill every single enemy in this entire area, then the sentinels will stop spawning, but until then they're infinite. Okay, so I like to have kind of a little weapons cache back here. Just all your precision weapon ammo, carbines, sentinel beams, you know. Oh yeah, and make sure you pick up that sentinel or that rocket launcher from that flood, so it doesn't despawn. One thing for this entire level, like any chance you get with a rocket to have rocket ammo, you should take it, because rocket ammo becomes very important towards the end. Okay. So I'm gonna kill this next wave of sentinels, and then I'm gonna hit the next trigger that's gonna spawn in some more flood. I'll show you exactly where that is. So there's this little like ridge right here. As soon as you go right here, there's gonna be some flood that spawn in right there. I didn't go far enough. Oh yeah, I did. Okay. And as soon as you spawn them in, just kind of back up towards this cave. This is a very good defensive position. Now you can get a beam rifle flood in this spawn. There's an RNG chance of getting a flood with a beam rifle here. However, not to worry, because for whatever reason, flood with beam rifles can never fire. They can never fire their beam rifle. If you don't believe me on that, you can test that yourself. But the very end of the level high charity has a ton of beam rifle flood, and you can just see they'll never fire at you. You could do that technically, but actually you're skipping enemies if you do that, because the way the gondola section works is that it's the same way as the Oracle elevator. They work the same way, but once there's a certain number of flood on the gondola, they'll stop spawning. So you have to continuously kill them in order to get all the spawns, or else you'll technically be skipping enemies that could have spawned. Yeah, I've thought about that, but no, you can't really do that. This is dumb, but oh. I'm actually glad that missed. Okay. So the next spawn is going to be over in this cave, and all you have to do to spawn these guys is just go walk right here. I'm going to shoot a little bit just to make sure they come towards me. And there's actually going to be a rocket flood, as you just saw a rocket blow up, but there's going to be a rocket flood in that cave. I don't count Lone Wolf for that. I already completed this challenge on Reach. I actually did this challenge on Combat Evolved first, and then I did it on Reach like a year later, and then I did it on Halo 2. Yeah. Now, I'm actually doing practice for this challenge on Halo 3 right now. And then I also want to do ODST after that. But a Lone Wolf is infinite spawns, so infinite spawns don't count for this challenge. Because you can't kill all infinite spawns, you know? Alright, so once the Sentinels die, I'm going to take a Sentinel Beam, and I'm going to grab these rockets. There's an easy way to get up top right there. If you jump on this little, like, broken thing, then you can crouch jump up here, then just walk up here. Now, I like to camo so that these enemies, these Flood, can't see me. Then I'm going to chill behind this, because I know that there's a rocket Flood just kind of chilling down there, right? So I'm going to wait for my camo, and I want to blow him up with this rocket launcher. If I see him. The Flood could, or the Sentinels could have killed him, possibly, but... Yeah, be careful. They will jump up here like that. That's why I have the Sentinel Beam. The Sentinel Beam helps for two reasons. One, it helps kill any Sentinels that spawn in the area. And it helps kill Flood, so... Alright, so I'm thinking that that rocket Flood died by the Sentinels. Or he dropped his rocket launcher. Kind of have to be careful here because I haven't personally confirmed that that guy's dead. Until I see his gun on the ground or something. Okay, so I have no idea where his weapon's at, but... I'm not seeing a rocket launcher, you know? Huh. I really want his rocket launcher ammo. It's like I said, any chance you get for grabbing rocket ammo on this level, you should make sure it doesn't despawn. Pick that up so it doesn't despawn. If you can't find it, it's not the biggest deal in the world. It's just kind of annoying. Okay, so now for this next part, I'm going to take my sword and juggle it, and you can also take the carbine if you want. I don't really care, but to me, you can do the exact same thing with a Sentinel Beam you can do with a carbine, but like even better. Especially since half the Flood will have shields. I guess I'll just go juggle this battle rifle because it's closer. I kind of just didn't want to do the carbine because it was so far away, but... Okay, so you can actually stealth attack this entire room, technically. But it's quite difficult to. Alright, so something to keep in mind. This room, there's a pretty high chance of having a shotgun Flood. And they can one-hit kill you if they're close enough to you. But there's actually a very, very small chance. I've only ever seen this twice out of like all the times I've played this part, so like a lot. So it's a very small chance, but there's a chance of having a rocket launcher Flood in this room as well. So you just kind of have to keep that in mind. If you see a Flood, just kind of identify what weapon it's holding before you kill it. So I see that this guy's alone, nothing else is facing towards it, so I can get a free kill there. So I'm just going to kind of stealthily kill as many of these guys as I can. Just use your radar to your advantage here, you know. Oh, I'm not talking about in the box section up there. I'm talking about in this room. In the next box section, there's a very, very high chance. So he had a shotgun. He needed to die. I made sure I used the lunge attack instead of the RB, or instead of the melee attack, because the melee attack will just drop his shields, where the lunge attack will one-hit kill him. But no, up in that hallway, in a second, there's a very high chance of having a rocket launcher flood, but in this room itself, there's a very low chance. Okay, so he saw me, but as long as he doesn't shoot, nothing else will get alerted. I'm just kind of making sure I stay back here because this is the best position in this entire room. So notice how I make sure none of them have a rocket launcher. Or a shotgun, I guess, as well. But now just shoot a little bit so you make sure everything's dead. Okay, so I'm just going to keep the same weapons I have. These are just fine. As soon as you reach, like, right here, there's going to be some more flood. Hit that checkpoint, there's going to be some flood right there. One of those guys, there's no rocket flood this time, but one of these 3 flood that spawn, like, 80% of the time, I'd say one of these guys has a rocket launcher, so if you do see him have a rocket launcher, don't stay up here. You should just back down off the ramp so you can't get killed by that guy. Alright, so there's going to be 3 golden sentinels. Be very careful because these guys can kill you very quickly. Not as quickly as like a dual-wielding elite or something, but pretty quickly. Okay. So this rocket launcher right here is always there. You don't actually have to pick it up because it can't despawn. But if there was a rocket launcher flood here, I would pick up his rocket launcher. And that way his rocket launcher can't despawn. Actually, I feel like it's worse on MCC than Classic because I feel like Sniper Jackals shoot you faster on Classic or on MCC than Classic because of the increased tick rate. And their reaction time is a lot faster. Same with like other enemies, they kill you faster because they're higher reaction time. Alright, so there's going to be some enemies that spawn down from there. I think it's like 3 or 4 enemies, I don't actually remember exactly. But one of them is always going to be a rocket launcher flood. And as soon as he drops down, I want to kill him with my sword. Camouflage. Easy sword kill. And the reason I don't want to do like another way of killing him by like sticking him or shoot him with a rocket, because sword is the only thing that's instantaneous, whereas like if I killed him with a grenade or with a rocket, there's still a small chance that he shoots a rocket back at me. So I want to kill him with a sword. And plus rockets and swords will rockets and grenades will alert all the enemies in this area where sword does not. Okay, so pick up his rockets so they don't despawn. Now I want to kill this Wraith with these rockets. And I guess I should have actually picked up these rockets right here instead of had that Sentinel Beam. But, yeah. Okay, so I'm going to blow up this Wraith. It's like 2 or 3 rockets. Okay, so it's 2. So yeah, you can see he kind of like likes to shoot over that wall, so you have to make sure you back up. Okay. Now one thing to keep in mind in this section, okay, I saw he had a shotgun, so I have to be pretty careful of that. There's actually a very small chance of having a sniper rifle flood in this room. And I don't mean a beam rifle flood, because beam rifle flood can't shoot at you, but I mean a human sniper flood, which can shoot at you. And a flood with the human sniper rifles, they're basically shielded sniper jackals. Sniper jackals with shields. They one-hit kill you, but they have shields, so. However, the sniper flood, there's a very small chance of him spawning in this area, but if he does spawn, it's only ever an elite flood. So like that guy right there could have a sniper rifle, but he's in a ghost, so he's not a threat. However, I want to make sure that since there is a chance that he has a sniper rifle, if I do want to board him, that I kill him with the sword and don't just board him and like kick him out, or else he can snipe me. Hey Golden Puppet, how's it going? Alright, so there's gonna be like 3 ghosts here. I really need one of these ghosts to stay alive, so I'm gonna blow up all but one of them. And then I'm gonna kill the other flood, but... Oh yeah, Sniper Flood exists in this game. Halo 3 actually has Sniper Rifle Brutes as well. Beam Rifle Brutes. However, you only see Beam Rifle Brutes on the level, Sabo Highway. Okay, so I want to kill this guy in the back, because the other one will be a lot easier to board, right? Alright, so he fell out. It's just a human flood, so he can't have a sniper rifle, so he's not a threat. As soon as he stops moving, like I said, I need one of these ghosts to stay alive, because it's going to help me do something later, so I'm going to... This guy needs to stop doing what he's doing right now. Okay, dude. I put myself in a really bad spot here. This guy's so dumb. I actually need this guy to hold still while I'm camoed. Okay. I blew up this. I think I just blew up the ghost. Okay, that's really annoying. I could go all the way back to the beginning of the level and grab a ghost. If I need to. Hopefully I don't need to, but I need a ghost. Alright, so as soon as you get in the Scorpion, there's going to be that Goss Hog. Make sure that Goss Hog dies. Now, every once in a while, you'll notice that that Goss Hog actually doesn't come through that door, or that tunnel right there. And the reason that is because he actually dies out there, or he starts fighting other enemies out there and he dies, but... So there's also a... You can clearly see an enemy, Wraith right there. You can kill him pretty easily just from this tunnel. And he can't kill you. He can't shoot back through here. Yeah, they're usually inside the sniper towers on Sabo Highway, yeah. Alright, so there should also be a regular Warthog that just has a regular gun. However, I think he died. Okay, so I'm going to kind of imagine this area has 2 sections. There's going to be the left side of the chasm and the right side. And you can use this bridge to go from left to right. I'm going to stay on the left side because on the right side, there's going to be another Goss Hog that spawns. And there's also going to be a lot more Flood Ghosts that spawn. And the only thing on this left side is going to be another Wraith that's all the way at the end. Okay, so I have my friendly Spectre. And inside of my Spectre, on the turret, I believe, is this White Elite. And this guy is a story character, so he can't actually die. He's invincible. And I'm going to use his invincibility to my advantage if I can. I really do not want him to fall off the cliff, okay? Or else I can't use him to my advantage. Because there's going to be Sniper Rifle Flood. Or later, a little bit later, there's a guaranteed Sniper Rifle Flood. So a 100% chance of getting a Sniper Rifle Flood. And if I like give him a sword, he can just take sniper shots for days and kill all the Sniper Flood for me. Okay, so there's going to be more Enforcers. I'm going to hide behind this little wall right here so the Wraiths can't kill me. Alright, and I'm just going to kill any Enforcer that spawns. Now I can use this little wall to my advantage. If the Wraith starts shooting at me, like so, I can just hide behind this wall. Somehow that hit me. Okay. Obviously, I didn't go far enough to the left right there. I should actually be backwards so that less of me peeks out. So just like that. Again, kill the enforcers. Easy. Okay, so I believe that my Spectre died. But I still have this invincible elite right here. Oh, it just got flipped. Never mind. So that's a Goss Hog. I don't want to deal with that. So, that Goss Hog, usually it doesn't cross the bridge like it just did. Same with the Ghosts. Usually they just kind of stay at the other side. Okay. So I have 2 elites alive. One of these guys is invincible. That guy right there, he can't be killed unless he falls in a hole. And I just flipped my Scorpion, nice. Alright, as soon as you go up over this hill, don't actually go all the way up over the hill, because this Scorpion will take a free shot at you right here. See, he shoots at you even though you're not over the hill. So I want to blow up that Scorpion right there. There's also a Wraith right there. And notice how I'm not going down. I'm making sure that I don't go down. It's very important that you don't. And the reason it's important that you don't is because you can't get back up with the Scorpion if you do. Okay, so I'm going to keep these Enforcers alive as long as possible. What they're going to do for me is kill as many Flood-occupied Ghosts until they die, so... Okay, so one very important and honestly kind of scary thing about the Flood in this area, not counting the Scorpion and the Wraith that are right there, all the other Flood in this area are in Ghosts. Okay, and all the Flood and Ghosts, they either have one of 2 weapons. They either have a sword or they have a rocket launcher. They can't have any other weapon. So, say that you accidentally flip an enemy Ghost with your Scorpion, but you don't kill it, right? So yeah, say you flip an enemy Ghost, but you don't kill the Flood inside of it. He just falls out, and he has a rocket launcher. You can easily... They'll track on instantly and one-hit kill your Scorpion, so... That's why it's very important that you don't go down there. Very, very important. So notice that guy has a rocket launcher. Very annoying. So that guy has a rocket launcher, that other Flood had a sword. So I'm going to give my ally a sword here, just because there's extra on the ground. I mean, I would give that to him anyways, even if there weren't extra on the ground, because he's invincible, and he can just one-hit kill any Flood with that sword. Okay, so I want to save my rockets here. Rockets are very, very important. So I'm making sure I don't peek over this edge in case they have a rocket launcher. So notice that guy had a rocket launcher. He instantly shot. See, he flipped out of his Ghost. He had a rocket launcher. So the only reason I'm able to do what I'm doing right here and just stay back here is because of this is because of my invincible ally and this ghost. However, I do have a strat in case for some reason he falls off the edge, which is basically just take the scorpion, go all the way over to the left here, and you're basically just gonna stay right here and kill the ghosts that spawn. You're gonna try to kill them from a distance. Oh, he almost just fell in the hole. That was scary. So the ghosts spawn from either side. They spawn from the left and the right. And yeah, you're just gonna be using your scorpion to kill them from back here. Okay, so I'm gonna go pick up as much rocket ammo as I can, just to make sure it doesn't despawn. So I really, really want max rocket ammo for the gondola. It's one of the most important things is that I have max rockets for the gondola. However, I don't see any more rockets. I know I have a bunch of rocket ammo, like, way back there, but I can go get that in a second if I need to. Okay, I'm actually gonna kick this guy out of this ghost because I kind of need a ghost. So I do not want him driving this, so if I can get this up this wall, that would be nice. Alright. I don't want him to drive that. One, because he's a lot more effective with his sword than he is in that ghost, and because, two, I need that ghost for something in a second. Which I'll get to in a second, but... Okay, so take the scorpion. Make sure not to go too far in, or else you'll spawn... See those, like, little doors in the back? You don't want those doors to open quite yet. So don't go too far, or else they will. As soon as that door in the back opens, though, you can start just shooting a ton of scorpion shots at it. So there's going to be a bunch of flood. For whatever reason, most of those flood that come out of there have plasma rifles. And you can see them from back here, because it, like, glows, right? Okay, so I saw a turret guy. I'd prefer not to waste a rocket on him, but... So I'm going to try to back up this hill, get a little bit higher up, and then kill this turret guy. Need to figure out where he's at exactly. Okay, so he's just to the left of that box a little bit. He's like right there. Yep, got him. Alright, so I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Again, make sure you don't go too far in, or else you'll spawn the enemies in the back. And one thing about the enemies in the back, those enemies will either have 3 weapons. They'll have a sniper rifle, rocket launcher, or sword. So it's basically the perfect counter to every single thing you can possibly have. If you're on foot, you can dodge rockets quite easily just by jumping, but sniper rifle will kill you. If you're in a vehicle, sniper rifle won't do anything, but rockets will one-hit kill you and track on, right? It's like the perfect counter for everything you can possibly have, but that didn't stop me from... It took me a long time to figure this area out just because of that, but I figured it out. Okay, so I'm just making sure I kill all the turret flood, all the... Just basically everything. I think I have to use a rocket on this guy, which is fine. Just one rocket. Make sure it tracks on, though, or else it'll be possibly another rocket wasted. Okay, so I really don't have any more need of this scorpion, so I'm just going to take it back here, just because it's faster than walking. At least I'm pretty sure it's faster than walking. I'm like 99% sure of that. Okay, so I just needed to go back for this ghost. However, since I don't have max rocket ammo, I'm actually going to go back and grab max rocket ammo. If I had max rockets, I wouldn't need to do this, but I don't, so. Oh yeah, fun little fact that's kind of not that important. This battle rifle right here has 200 ammo. 200. Alright, so there's these rockets. I'm actually going to drop this, so I don't have to... And you can just drop it for whatever gun. I'm just dropping it so I can come back and get the extra rockets I left back here. I really have no use of this for this sniper rifle at all, but... Oh yeah, notice how I keep my sword equipped instead of my rocket launcher? And the reason for that is I just really don't want to accidentally pull the trigger when I'm in front of an object and kill myself. That'd be a dumb way to die. It's the same reason I don't juggle with heavy weapons. If I do juggle, I make sure the heavy weapon is in my back pocket, and I juggle with other weapons. Okay, so I have max rockets now. I'm taking this ghost. Alright, so as soon as you go far forward enough, there's going to be enemies that spawn out of those two doors. It's the same thing on the other side. You can do either the right or the left first. I like to do the right side first. For no particular reason other than I like the right side. However, one very important thing to keep in mind, this right side, the right side and the left side are slightly different with what spawns in them. The right side has sword flood, rocket flood, just like the left side does. However, the right side will guarantee you at least one sniper flood, sometimes two. And I mean human sniper rifle flood. And on the left side, it's beam rifle flood. It's one or two beam rifle flood. And beam rifle flood can't shoot at you, right? So they're not a threat. So the reason I use this ghost is basically because the most defendable position is inside that door, a little bit around the corner. If you're in a scorpion or walking by foot, you can't get there fast enough, but if you're in a ghost or a specter, you can. Even if you do have the specter alive, I recommend using a ghost. Okay, so I'm gonna boost forward. As soon as you hear like the sound, it means that those doors opened. I'm just gonna take this ghost back here so Flood can't walk in it. One important thing to know is if you go back there any further, you'll actually despawn everything behind you. You'll hit a deload, so don't go any more far forward. What? I love inconsistent melees. That was the dumbest thing I've ever seen. Did this checkpoint's a million years back. Like instead of killing the flood, it missed the flood twice and just went over top of him. Okay, so maybe bringing the ghost in isn't smart, because apparently they should go for it. I've actually never seen them go for it like that. But okay, we're learning something here. Don't bring the ghost with you, I guess. Just leave it outside the door. And I guess that makes sense, because that'll do two things. It'll make it so your ally doesn't go inside with you, and you can just stay out there and kill all the enemies. And two, it'll stop the flood from coming in and add the ghost, right? That makes a lot of sense. That was like the dumbest death I've ever seen, but just a guide. Deaths don't matter. Yeah, like I said, I've literally never seen that happen before. Which means it's very, very unlikely. So I'm not really going to explain what I'm doing here, because I'm just repeating what I already did. Okay. Can't see this thing. Okay. Okay, everything up there, down there is dead. Everything up there is dead. Okay, so go back for the ghost and rocket ammo. That was honestly a horrible checkpoint. It'll reset me like 5 minutes. You know what? I'm just gonna make do with 4 rockets or 5 rockets, and if I need to, I can go back for more rockets. Cause I just need max rockets for the gondola. Having 6 rockets for this encounter isn't that important, I guess. So yeah, take the ghost. I'm gonna do this differently though. Oh, there's a turret guy alive right there. What the frick? All right. So I'm parking the ghost right there, which will. I just realized that this is actually too wide to stop my ally from coming in here with me. So if you listen, you should be able to hear Sniper Flood, maybe, shooting at my ally. I'm thinking the Sniper Flood might have gotten that ghost.
Warriors, well done.
So I'm just camoing, seeing what I can see, then moving immediately back. Because like I said, there's a rocket launcher and Sniper Flood. And I'm going to just use my rocket launcher as much as possible to kill everything I see. I don't see anything. But yeah, like I said, there's a sniper rifle, human sniper rifle right here. So there was a Sniper Flood. Now you don't have to worry about the enemies on the other side spawning if you're right here. Those guys won't spawn in until you move over to the left, or over to the right a little bit more. So I'm just taking this opportunity to collect as much rocket ammo as I can, so it doesn't despawn. Okay, so these guys will spawn in as soon as I go right there. That door will open. Sometimes it takes a second, but that door should be opening. And again, make sure not to go back too far or else you'll despawn the enemies. Alright, so I'm gonna have to edit that part where I'm paused out of this video.
Here I am.
Alright. Couldn't tell if that was a flood alive or not. I heard flood, so I know there's still some guys alive. Try not to use my nades, because you can replace rockets but not nades very easily.
That was an accident. Aim more carefully.
Alright, whatever. So there are 2 flood hiding behind these crates. One of them had a rocket launcher. I don't know if you saw, but that other guy had a beam rifle. Again, beam rifle flood can never fire at you. Yep, there it is, beam rifle. Okay, so I got max rockets. If you don't have max rockets from these guys, and you should be able to get max rockets from these enemies because a lot of them have rocket launchers. But if you can't, you have to go all the way back and just make sure you have max rocket ammo. Even if it's as far as like the start of the level, even you want max rocket ammo for this gondola. Okay, so see that loading done? That's what I was talking about. If you hit that loading done, the enemies behind you will stop spawning, or will despawn. Alright, so the gondola, the hardest part of this level by far. Only use your one rule of thumb for the gondola is I'm only going to use my rocket ammo, because I don't have very much of it. I'm only going to use it in really big groups of flood, or against shotgun flood. There are shotgun flood and sword flood, but sword flood are so incredibly slow. They can still one-shot you, but they're so incredibly slow that they're really not a threat at all. But shotgun flood, they shoot really fast, and they'll still one-shot you. So they're much more of a threat, so you have to use your rockets on them. One thing about the gondola, I can just stay up here in the top this entire time, pretty much. That's what I'm going to do, is I'm going to stay up here. Because the way the gondola works is basically that only a certain number of flood can occupy the gondola at once. And if you don't continuously keep killing enemies, or keep killing flood, eventually you'll hit that number of flood and they'll stop spawning, so you'll be skipping spawns that could have spawned. Okay, so the second wave of flood, that was the first wave. The second wave of flood, there's gonna be enemies that spawn below me, as well as those guys. This is where I want to fire like 2 rockets right here, because there's gonna be a bunch of flood. Just my sword guy's actually killing a lot of them for me, so I might not have to do that. Alright, so I'm not gonna have to do that because my sword guy just killed so many of them. However, I do see that shotgun flood, so I'm interested in killing him. And notice how you can kind of just use this glass to see what weapons people have. Like, he has a shotgun, so I want him dead, you know? So I see this guy right around this corner. I'm going to camouflage. I know he has a shotgun. Or actually, it's a different flood. Interesting. So that's an... Ah, dang it. Oh, and one fact about sword flood, if you're close enough to them, they can't kill you. They kind of have a weird arc with their sword, but it's quite ranged. If you're close enough to them, they won't deal damage to you. Pretty odd, but it's... yeah. Alright, so once the gondola starts going up, notice how all the enemies have been coming up on the left so far? Once the gondola starts going up, and you can tell the gondola starts going up without even looking, it's as soon as the music starts playing, all the flood will start coming from the right side. Except maybe these guys that are already spawned in. I don't know what this guy's doing, but... make sure not to take too many lunges that are like too far away, or else you can throw yourself off the gondola pretty easily. Okay, so more flood should spawn in here in a second. Oops, I did not. I meant to switch grenades, not camouflage. Oh yeah, one thing to keep in mind, only elite flood can hold shotguns on this gondola, so you don't have to worry about human flood holding shotguns. Like that guy. So I just kill him as soon as he reaches the top of the ramp, because he's kind of stuck there for a second. Kind of weird, but... wait, what? I have no idea where that guy came from. I don't like how many big flood were right next to each other there, so I kind of wasted a rocket. So yeah, I'm just keeping an eye on my radar the entire time, just making sure I know where all the flood are at. If they have shotguns, use rockets. Like this guy has a shotgun. If you run out of rockets, you can do 2 things. You can use plasma grenades, or you can camouflage and sword them. If you do use sword, make sure you use the lunge attack and not the melee attack, just to make sure you one-shot them. Okay, he has a... Oh, one weird glitch is that you can actually shoot through the floor with, like, UNSC UNSC weapons like the SMG or the battle rifle that shoot bullets. You can shoot through the floor. So there's another shotgun flood. I think I'm just gonna stick this guy, or he's just gonna chill down there. Alright, that's fine. And I'll show you that you can shoot through the floor. Actually, he doesn't have a shield, so it's not gonna flare up, but if he had a shield, I would have been able to show you that a lot easier, but trust me, if you shoot right now, it's gonna deal damage. However, I consider that a glitch, so that's a glitch, so can't take that to my advantage. Okay. I actually want to keep that SMG ammo because of infection forms here in a second. Alright, so that is the Quarantine Zone Gondola without dying, on Legendary. Yeah, if you have rockets, it makes it a lot easier. Alright, so the rest of this level is just killing infection forms, and maybe if for some reason these guys actually decide to take over one of these bodies, one of these flood bodies, which doesn't happen very often, but does happen, so just kill the flood that spawns. Alright. So one more thing before I end this level. So see, there's a infection form on my radar. He's actually stuck inside this wall. You can see his little tendrils kind of poking out. This doesn't always happen, but when it does, you can just use your sword. I'm pretty sure the sword is the only thing you can use to kill this guy. Alright, he died. Alright, there's actually two of them. Alright. Alright. So yeah, like I said, every once in a while, the infection forms, instead of just like going towards this door, will decide to take over one of these bodies. And you can just get an easy sword kill. They don't have guns. If the infection forms do reach this door, they'll just despawn. Yeah. And that is the little quarantine zone. I did die once. It was a really stupid death because for some reason my sword attack missed twice. Like, what the frick is that about? But anyways, that is the little quarantine zone. Those are all the strategies that I made to do this level without dying. As you can see, they're pretty effective. I did die once, but I explained what I could have done better, and it worked. So yeah, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope you found it informative. Okay.